All right, y'all. I am not gonna lie, I didn't really want to talk about this mess, but we are going to talk about it. No, but for real, honestly, this is one of the lamest rap beefs that we have seen this year, right next to Cardi and Bia. But unlike that feud, this beef gave us some new music, so we're gonna get into all of that today. In case you didn't know, JT and Sukihana have been going back and forth online for a few days now, and now both girls have just dropped diss tracks aimed at each other. I just need to know what is going on in the 2024 era that's got everyone so hostile this year. I'm gonna give y'all a brief rundown of everything that went down, as well as add my 2 cents on the whole drama and these new songs. Before we get into everything, I just want to say that if you enjoy female rap, music conversations, music debates, music reviews, and really anything music related, definitely consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. Alright, let's break down this whole JT and Sukihana drama that we got here. So, this whole drama kicked off when JT dropped her single OK back in late April. On the song, JT has a line which says, "She ate crab legs, now her whole tooth missing. Cheap ass veneers, you stay talking ish." When people first heard this line, a lot of people assumed it was either about Cardi B, as she did break her tooth eating a bagel, or obviously Sukihana, who in fact broke her veneers eating a crab leg. Now, Suki was in jail at the time of this song release, so it wasn't for a few days until she posted her response simply asking JT to clear the air as to who she was talking about. Suki claims that as she and JT have always been on good terms with each other, she didn't personally think that the lyric was about her, but she still wanted JT to clear the air. JT did not respond to this message from Suki for a few days, which prompted Suki to get online and make a few tweets teasing JT, ultimately insinuating that she was dabbling in hard substances. Following this, JT responded to Suki with various tweets claiming that she was not dissing Suki and would have responded to her if she went about it differently. In the series of tweets, JT does not hold back and goes in on Suki, calling her names like Sardine Suki, Sewer Coochie, and states that no one has or ever will take Suki serious as a musical artist. The last comment then prompted Suki to respond, stating that while she intended to roast JT back online, now she's going to take it to the booth to show everyone that she can really rap. So, a few days after their Twitter rumble, Suki officially dropped her JT diss track. I don't think I can say the name of it on here, but the song is named after the substances that Suki alleges that JT is taking. On this track, Suki does not hold back at all, and she really lets JT have it by continuing to perpetrate the narrative that she's on drugs, she worships the devil, she does questionable things in bed, and makes multiple comments about her appearance. Most notably, though, the comments that had everyone talking were the lines where Suki is also dissing JT's boyfriend, Lil Uzi Vert. Suki ultimately states that JT is mad at the fact that Uzi wanted to sleep with Ice Spice, and she also states that Uzi wanted to sleep with her in the past and that he still wants to. Most shockingly, Suki claims that JT looks like a transgender and insists that that is the only reason why Uzi wants to be with JT. Now, JT was not going to let any of this slide, so she ended up responding to the diss track by adding an additional verse to her latest song, OK, which is also the song that ignited this whole feud. On JT's extended verse, JT claims that the reason that girls like Suki are actually mad is due to the fact that she is currently doing really well for herself. JT also brags about charting on the Billboard Hot 100, performing after the Met Gala, and rocking designer clothes. She also goes on to make fun of Suki for her own lyrics about eating certain things that she also tried to accuse JT of indulging in. Ultimately, JT spent majority of the verse flexing on Suki with her accomplishments, insinuating that Suki is simply jealous of her. As far as what I've seen as of making this video, Suki has yet to directly address JT's extended clip, and neither girl has addressed the situation since JT's response. Alright, so as for the situation itself, I do kind of see where both girls were coming from. Considering people online were trying to make the lyric about either Suki or Cardi, I do understand why Suki would want some clarification as to who exactly JT was talking about. On the other hand, I completely agree with JT when she said that Suki was trying to have a 2-for-1 special the way she went about it. Ultimately, if JT had responded to Suki's initial video and denied dissing her, people would have been real quick to try to spark something between JT and Cardi. It kind of feels like Suki backed JT into a corner, and I completely understand why JT did not want to address this issue publicly. I know this is not really a revolutionary take on this whole situation, but I do agree that both of these girls should have just communicated with each other behind the scenes. While talking it out in private may have been the mature option, if that had happened, we would not have gotten these diss tracks from either lady. Let's go ahead and talk about Suki's first, as it did drop first. So, I am not gonna lie, I do have mixed opinions about this one. When I first heard it, I was like, oh shit, Suki is like whacking the fuck out of JT right now. Like, some of those lines genuinely had me gagged. Also, I like the beat of this a lot, and it's honestly pretty catchy. Like, the ending has been stuck in my head since I first heard it. With all of that being said, after reading through the whole song, I just feel like Suki made a lot of bold claims, yet very little of it was rooted in reality. You feel me? Suki just made a lot of comments that, in my opinion, barely apply to JT. And like JT said, it feels like her disses in this song were simply for shock value. Comments about JT pee in the bed or eating booty and coochie are nothing but conspiracy theories to me that Suki said to get a reaction out of people. Especially the allegations regarding using substances. I don't think JT making a bunch of tweets ranting automatically equates to her using drugs. There seems to be a new trend where people get labeled a C-head if they do or say anything that others don't like, and I just don't agree with it. I understand a lot of celebrities do those things, but we can't label every single celebrity a C-head because they were defending themselves online. Also, I thought a lot of the disses that Suki was trying to dish about Uzi and JT just ended up making Suki look transphobic in the process. The line about JT's man wearing her thong was especially funny, as that wasn't even Uzi, like that was Cardi. Like, Suki really put little to no thought into this diss and just said a bunch of nonsense for a quick gag and for shock value. Ultimately, I do see why a lot of people like this diss track from Suki, as it is pretty catchy, especially that last part, I can't lie. But personally, I don't believe much of what Suki is claiming here. Now, on to JT, who finally dropped her response to all of this by extending her latest single, Okay, and adding a third verse. Now, first of all, let me just say, I think the way that JT went about this was really, really smart. Adding an additional verse helps boost this song, and considering JT is in the process of making a name for herself in the game, adding her highly awaited response to this song gives her track more exposure all around. I feel like a lot of people weren't feeling JT's response due to her not necessarily taking like shots at Suki, but more so for her like flexing on Suki. But to be honest, I feel like I like this approach from JT. You know, first of all, I feel like it suits the song really, really well. And second of all, creating a full diss track or directly whacking Suki on the verse does nothing but give Suki more exposure. JT essentially told Suki to F off and find something better to do than keep tabs on her. Plus, everything JT had to say was legitimate and rooted in reality, so for that, I do have to give JT the dub here. I think I would have preferred Suki's diss had she put credible lyrics in there, cause I do find the song catchy, but personally, I just felt like a lot of her claims were too bold to be true. Unless she can prove to us that JT is on all of these substances, or that Uzi was trying to get at her, or prove that JT do be eating things, I'm gonna have to side with JT here. I simply am just not with all of the gimmicks. I kind of feel like Suki was just looking for some clout here, because she's really only relevant when she's attached to someone, you know, Sexy Red, Cupcake, and now JT. Anyways, this was all simply my subjective opinion and my 2 cents on all of the drama between JT and Suki. Definitely let me know all of your thoughts. I'm curious as to whose side all of y'all are on. Thank you so much for tuning in and making it this far. Hopefully all of you guys enjoyed, and I can't wait to see all of you in the next one. Peace!